Hey, New Life Church family. We are here with Miss Debbie. She's such an awesome member of this church, and today we want to learn about her story. So, Debbie, tell us where you're from.
I'm originally from Struthers growing up, and now I currently live in New Middletown, which is like 3 minutes from the church, and I love it.
Love it. How long have you lived there?
8 years in New Middletown.
Awesome. So, how did you hear about New Life Church?
Well, believe it or not, would come down Western Reserve Road, and I would always think to myself, wow, that is a big church. What goes on in that church? I want to know, but I never took myself to go through the door because growing up as a child, church was never part of my growing up. So it was very foreign to me. And I wasn't going to go into a foreign territory that I didn't know. And I always wondered, what goes on, what goes on? And I just thought someday I'll go in that church. And then it wasn't until Angela Sevick had a Mary Kay party that I went to, and I ran into her, and she invited me to come to church. Her and her mother, she was doing a life group. And that's how I got to know the church, is I came in on a life group. And it just snowballed into everything, and I'm here, and I love it.
So, explain what a life group has done for your life.
Oh my, a life group gave me so much self-confidence. It has brought such meaningful people in my life that they have become family. And it's a family that chose me.
Absolutely.
And I didn't have to go around and go, well, I'll take you and I'll pick you and I'll pick you. When you come into this church, you were just united by one huge loving family, and I just loved it. And I wanted to do a life group, and I decided to do an Exercise Drums Alive type group. And I was only into the church maybe a year, and Angela said, why don't you do it? And I'm like, I don't know. And she goes, you'll do good. So I said, all right, I'll do it. And that's how I got to do the life group, and I love it. I encourage everyone to do at least lead one life group. It's an awesome place.
So, as soon as you got here, you were able to connect easily, and that's just from the people that you have met.
Yes.
So, can you elaborate on some other people that have impacted you here at New Life Church?
Well, for one, Pastor Dave. He's awesome. Every Sunday when he sends the message, I'm just in awe, like, wow. I wish I would have had that growing up.
Absolutely.
You know, and his wife Liz, what a sweetheart. She's awesome, and just everyone from Billy in the office to the new girl Sherry, I think her name.
Yes.
I just met her today, and I just feel like I've known her forever. People just come together, and there's so many people that I've met, and there hasn't been, anyone that has been negative or not forthcoming with their personality in a positive way, and it's just a good place to call home.
So we were talking about, your early childhood and how church really wasn't around for you. Can you go a little bit more in depth with that? Because we're talking about living a better story. So I definitely want to hear that part. The church wants to hear that part.
Well, growing up, like I said, there was no church on Sundays. There was no word of God and Jesus that was spoken to my home. So that was all foreign to me. And when I was growing up, and some of my friends would say, talk about God or talk about Jesus or talk about the stories in the Bible, I would just get very quiet because I didn't know what to say and I didn't know how to react. And I just thought, oh, don't say anything to me and don't ask me any questions because I'm going to look speechless. And so coming here to the church at being 56, I don't know all the stories. I don't. But here in this church, that doesn't matter because everyone is willing to teach you. They don't look at you like, why don't you know that? It's okay not to know it because you will know it.
It's a learning process.
It's always a learning process. And I think even people who do know the Bible is still a learning process.
Absolutely.
But growing up, I didn't have that with me. So coming here, it has opened my eyes to see and want to seek the Lord and seek Jesus and get to know them. And there are some things that are still uncomfortable for me because I haven't had it. So for me just to come in and just go, okay, I'm going to do all this stuff, I want to feel it here. And when I feel it here is when I act upon it. So I know that coming here, not knowing things as a child, my daughter has said, Mom, I've noticed a difference in you. And I said, what? And she said, I've noticed that there's a sense of peace and you have calm within you. And I said, that's not me, that's Jesus. He's here. And I feel him now.
That's awesome.
I just wish I had him my whole life. But I did. I did have him, but I couldn't feel him because I was never taught. But now, and I thank you for that as well. I thank you for that as well. Everyone who comes in contact with me, I thank you.
No, it's such an amazing thing to hear, people talk about their journeys, but how other people have been a part of the journey. So it hasn't been a solo journey.
No.
So your story is just so cool that you were drawn to God through other people. You connected. So, but one thing I loved about what you said is, if you feel it here, that's when you know that you can connect with it. So when was your first moment you felt it here?
I would have to say, I started coming here in September of 17. I would have to say it wasn't until November of when I was getting it. It was clicking, and then that's when I decided to accept Jesus into my heart on November 26th, 2017. And he's been growing steady. I get choked up just hearing it, thinking of it. But every day is a new journey, and the me before would react to certain situations, and that person isn't the same person. I react totally different with things, and I'm more calm about it. I don't let things upset me, and I thought that it was because of what I was doing, but in a sense, it's what Jesus is doing in me. It's the work in me that he is preparing me to go forth and lead a better life.
Yeah, now you're living a great story.
Yes.
So thank you so much for you coming to just share with us and talk with us about your story. This is an amazing experience, and we can't wait to see what God's going to keep doing for you.
Oh, amazing things. It's just going to get better and better and bigger, and I thank this church and everyone who dwells under it, and those who are on the other side of the door, and those who are hesitating.
Yes.
Come on in. It's a great place. It is a great place.